American John Hakim is the Chief Operating Officer of Baker and the brains behind the international side of the business. Look about this clinic and it's clear he's been very successful. Baker has treated more than 800 foreign patients. Maybe more important, though, is the extensive and largely uncritical coverage that Baker receives.
This smart and sometimes sassy 6-year-old is the first person in the world with optic nerve hypoplasia to receive stem cell transplants and gain sight.
Look at the number of laudatory articles you have on this stem cell, then the reports on the nightly news, local news and national news. How many articles or programs have you seen that have really scrutinized this issue?
Before the Clarks came to China, their story was in the local press, snowballing international coverage. After their homecoming, more headlines, heralding sensational news of miracles, cures, and the blind tot who could now see. Critics have said this.
Yeah.
I'm just simply putting to you what they say in the Western media. Yeah. You treat marketing as much more important than research. What do you say to these people?
Doctors saying this, they haven't got the chance to visit us or talk to our patients. So I don't know if they're saying something right or not. But if I get many English professors and doctors coming to visit us, or American doctors, after they talk to our patients, they start to say, okay, congratulations, you guys are doing something great.
We knew that Baker's marketing man, John Hakim, had once been a big player in the dot-com boom in Hong Kong. But when Panorama looked deeper into Hakim's background, we found that in 2005, he'd helped set up a website aimed at selling the organs of executed Chinese prisoners to wealthy Westerners. One piece of research which popped up was that John, at one stage, set up a website to sell the kidneys from executed Chinese prisoners. Did you know that?
No, I don't think so. I don't. That is just something that the
media.
Yeah.
That's not true.
No.
Not true at all. In fact, John Hakim conceded that he was involved with the website, but said no transplants ever happened. Back in Belfast, the Clarks have agreed for Dakota to take an objective scientific test of her vision. This will be the first such test since her treatment and will reveal if the stem cells have actually worked. Meanwhile, after Linda's secret filming in the Dominican Republic, we wanted to find out more about Dr. William Rader. This is his base camp, Los Angeles, California. I'm feeling rough, I'm feeling wrong in the time of my life. William C. Rader qualified as a doctor in 1968 before specializing in psychiatry. He first came to public attention in the 1970s as a TV doctor here.
When you see a deaf person, he could be deaf. If I never met him, I'd never know. So it isn't.
He hasn't said anything, has he?
Howard Rosenberg, a Pulitzer-winning columnist for the LA Times, wrote about him then.
He was part of a Los Angeles newscast that did anything to titillate viewers. It had a real circus-like quality about it, and Rader was one of the clowns. There was an aura of a snake oil salesman about the guy that I just will never forget. And I had the feeling he would do anything they wanted him to do.
Dr. Rader even earned himself an interesting nickname.
There are serious studies done that show that women who drink are not interested in any kind of sexual behavior at all.
That was the point I nicknamed him Dr. Sex.
Dr. Sex.
Dr. Sex, because he had sort of this gleam in his eye. And I remember in one instance where he actually faced the camera and pretended it was his lover and said, "Why won't you have sex with me?"
You're being a bit harsh on him, don't you think?
Probably not harsh enough.
Dr. Rader set up a chain of clinics for eating disorders, but they ended in bankruptcy, owing more than $1 million. By 1997, he was doing stem cell treatments. First in the Bahamas until the government there forced him out, and then in the Dominican Republic. And it's clear that he's done well for himself since, now operating out of this Malibu pile. Earlier, while still undercover, Linda needed to leave before the treatment began.
I want to go away and have another think about it.
Oh, okay.
and then come back. And I was.
Don't let her do that. Don't let her do that, because there's no more to think about. And
I'm incredibly nervous.
Let's just get started. He can go get the money later. Let's just get started. We're going to start right now, and you'll see.
I don't think I can. I don't think I can.
We travelled to San Diego to speak to a scientist who is growing stem cells for what he hopes will be, in time, routine treatments.
And if you look over here, what you can see are embryonic stem cells that have learned that they are meant to be heart.
That's beating.
And they've now not only become beating cells, but they've begun to organize themselves with other beating cells to make a synchronous beating heart-like substance or structure right within the dish right over here.
We showed him some of Linda's footage.
Don't let her do that, because there's no more to think about. And
I'm incredibly nervous. And it's not.
That's why let's just do it. Forget about it.
That's horrific, actually. No physician ever tries to pressure a patient into receiving an experimental therapy.
What are we looking at here?
Well, I think we're looking at a used car salesman, or a snake oil salesman.